Hey everybody, it's Sel here from Sel Joy, and we're here with another episode, and today we're going to be talking about guitars. So I'm here with my man Daniel Grant.
What's up everybody?
He is a multi-instrumentalist. He plays guitar, he plays bass, he plays keys. So we're going to be focusing on some work on these strings right here. So one of the comments that I got on one of my last videos was, how do you set up Logic Pro for the iPad with a nice, sweet guitar setup? You may be someone that's wanting to do this at home as a hobbyist, or you may even think about taking this setup on the road with you. It's certainly lighter than a bunch of amps and amp heads and cabinets and stuff like that. So you have the option now, the touch interface, to just take your rig with you right on your iPad. So we're gonna discuss how we're gonna do that, and we're gonna get into how to set this up. You ready, Dan?
Ready.
All right, let's do it. All right, so let's go ahead and get connected. I'm gonna take the USB hub and plug it in right into my iPad USB-C AV dongle, and also connect the power supply. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna connect our interface now. And I'm gonna go out of the back of the interface right into one of those hubs inputs. And now my interface is connected along with any other device that I would like to connect. All right, now I can jack in my guitar by plugging that right into channel 1. Make sure I'm on the instrument setting and not the mic setting. And I can now attenuate my gain, dial up a little bit of a headphone mix, or adjust the master out. And there we are. All right, now I'm just gonna go with an empty track stack here. Okay, now it's reading my USB audio interface, the M audio. It's reading it right there. So now it's telling me we can set up an audio track for you right on audio track number 1. So if I wanted to change that, maybe you were plugged into channel 2, you could tap on those 3 dots right there, and you can select what channel you want to come in on, channel 1 or channel 2.
Okay.
If you have a bigger interface, let's say something that's got 16 channels or 8 channels, then you can select 1 through 8. How many you got? It's gonna read it.
Yeah.
So over there, we got a 32 channel board. We could plug that in here, and you could pick from 1 through 32.
Wow.
So as you can see, it's already doing a lot for you. So let's go back here. We're gonna pick channel 1, and we're gonna create. Okay, so now we have our audio channel. For guitars, right here, it's loaded up a browser for you on the left-hand side. And this browser here will allow you to start to look for the type of setup you want for your guitar. So you see right up at the top left-hand corner?
Yeah.
Go ahead and tap guitars. Good. So now you've got some other type of guitar setups, one with a regular amp, heavy distortion, light distortion, modulation effects, heavy delay. All right, where do you want to go first?
I want to go heavy, clean.
You want to go clean? Let's go to clean. All right. All right, so now from here, you can just start tapping. I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. And I'm going to also load our plugin view at the bottom. So once you start to select, you will see the plugin setup start to change. And it will show you what plugins it's using in order to create those patches.
Okay.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead, I'm going to get out the shot. Why don't you go ahead and start dialing up a few of these and start playing a few of them.
That has a little bit of compression on it.
Yeah. You like that one? All right, so let's actually take a look at what's going on in there. So they've given you a number of things on the channel strip. You got a noise gate. Right away you see it's silent right now.
Yeah.
That's really useful. A lot of guitarists don't want strings vibrating while the artist is talking or in between sets.
Right.
So they put a noise gate on there so that if you let go of your strings, there's no vibration. So you can put a noise gate on there and you can adjust the threshold. Each of these, you can make more fine adjustments just by opening it up, by tapping it on it and opening it right up.
Wow, wow.
So you can adjust the noise gate. So here's your threshold. This will tell you, see right now everything's gonna be open.
Yeah.
You hear all that buzz, all that hiss from your guitar? Now it's gone.
Now it's gone, yeah.
Clean.
That's cool.
It's great for recording.
Yeah.
If you're in a live recording situation, just to be able to have that noise gate on there so the engineer's not getting all the hiss from your guitar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What about a squash compressor? So there, this is like a guitar pedal where you can adjust the sustain, the level of that, whether you want a fast or slow compression. You can make those adjustments there. Oh, and here's your amp designer. So why don't you play that groove again? I'm gonna change the amp.
Okay.
Let's see if we can go with Boutique. So you pull up to a studio session, it's like, I didn't bring the right amp. Now you can dial up whatever amp you want.
That's crazy.
So you've got all of these amps. Let's go back to this large tweed one that we had. Now, there are other guitar setups that are in here. Let's say you wanted to go something like heavy distortion.
Man, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So, as you can see, there's a ton of things in here from American metal. Let's try that one.
that's crazy.
So, do you see yourself using that on a gig?
Yeah, I'm gonna get one today.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh.
So, Apple has really loaded a lot of the stuff that was in the desktop. They loaded it right up in here.
Yeah.
So, what we can do from our plug-in view here, here's our chain. We can go ahead and add some delay. And I'm gonna go to Logic Pro, delay. Let's put a stereo delay on it, just to make it really pretty. Go ahead and play some. Give me some Purple Rain.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep.
And the compression on it.
Yeah.
Woo!
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yes, sir. Boy, that's crazy.
Yeah. So this is just Logic stock stuff.
That's okay. Hold on. Yo, that's crazy. I'm gonna get one today. I promise you I'm gonna get one today. My wife may get at me about it a little bit, but I may have to get one.
Yeah, man. So I want to show you.
Love you, baby.
I want to show you some other plugins that are not stock to Logic.
Okay.
That can also give you some other options.
Nice.
Right. So we're gonna take this one off, and we're gonna load another track. We're going to use the same input audio, but now I want to load some plugins from gospel musicians.
Okay.
So Gospel Musicians has a great effects rack, and I'm going to get rid of the browser here because I'm going to load my own. Gospel Musicians has a great effects rack called IFX, and it's for any type of recording situation, whether you want to put EQ, stereo delay, pans, choruses, everything, not just for guitars, but for everything. So I'm going to load audio effects, and I'm going to scroll down to Gospel Musicians, IFX rack. You can load this as mono, or you can load this as stereo. So let's go ahead and open up IFX rack.
Okay.
I'm going to open this all the way up. Now here you can stack up. So I'm going to hit IFX rack here and hold. See, you've got delays, choruses, phasing, reverbs, distortion drive. I'm going to go ahead and hit amps.
Okay.
Because now we've got some preamps, amp simps, some amp combos, and also the IFX amp. Let me go ahead and load the IFX amp. All right, so now that's giving me something like what you would see on like an orange amp.
Yeah.
That's the type of design language they went with for that. Let me just pull this down and arm that track, and let's see what that sounds like. So here, their setup's a little different where you can dial in the dry signal or just listen to what the amp is doing on its own. So now, as you like that clean sound,
Yeah.
what would you add to that to just make it feel nice?
As far as effects,
Yeah, what would you add?
I would add a little bit of chorus.
Chorus?
Yep.
Okay, so let's grab that. So you're gonna hit and hold, tap and hold. Then you've got your chorusing here. All right. You can speed up the chorus a little bit. Then you can take some out of the mix. How's that?
Very clean. Vintagey, if that's a word.
It's not too colored. It's not too bright, not too aggressive. It's just right. What else would you add? All right, so what we did here, we added a little preamp on it, which warms it up to give it a little bit of a tube sound.
Yeah.
Check this out. So you now have one slot here for how you want your guitar to sound. Now you can go over here and you've got another slot. Other things that you can add.
Lord. Lord.
It's about to get crazy. So now we can put our like cloud verbs. I love cloud verb. Check this out. Play that. Let's try and load something up for worship.
Yo, this is crazy. Yeah, that's great.
Wow. So we went from bringing up our amp stack, adding some chorus, which we can turn on and off, just like an amp, or like an amp rack.
Right.
With no pops. There's no,
Yeah.
It's all really silent. Add your delay. Then you've got your amp sim. Now, you're going from here, into here, into here, into here. Now, let's say you wanted to change what happens first.
Okay.
You can simply just move the amp from one place to another. So you can go from there into your delay first, then the chorus. That can do something different as well. Or if you want to go from your preamp, let's put the preamp maybe, let's see if we can move that. preamp into the amp, into the chorus, and then out. You know, so depending on your chain, that can affect your sound as well. So this is a great way to do this.
Wow, this is it.
Yeah, and you got 2 slots, and then you got a master where you can load EQ, put your equalizer, like 11-band EQ, and then you can put your compressor on there, put a limiter on there.
Jeez.
You know, you can go to town. You can have your own custom Daniel Grant. This is my sound. This is my Rex. That doesn't sound like anything you're getting from the manufacturers.
Right.
This is a signature to you.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Now, is it unlimited?
It's unlimited.
So as far as how much you can stack?
So each slot is going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each stack will give you 5. And then you've got a second slot.
Yikes.
So that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, about 10 different effects. And then you've got your master.
Wow.
Plus, because all of this is on one channel now, now you can go back. All of that's happening in one plugin.
Yeah.
You just loaded all of that. Instead of loading 10 different things down here, you loaded all of that into one plugin. Now you can go and add Logic stuff on top of that.
Yikes.
Or any other plugin that you have on top of that.
That's crazy.
So software just lets you go so much further. All right? But I'm not done. There's one more setup I want you to take a look at.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So this one is from Ikmultimedia. We've been talking about Ikmultimedia for a minute, the iRig series and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
So they came out with a number of different things for guitars. You can check out Tonex, which I think is a great guitar interface, which you should probably check out one of those. And maybe we can get one and do a demo with it.
Oh, yeah.
Amplitude is another amp that's in here as well. But for Logic, it's not AUV3, so it won't load as a plugin in here.
Okay.
But they do have a complete mix package for anything that you're recording in the studio called Mixbox. And Mixbox has some great channel strips for guitar as well.
Okay.
So I wanted to show you that.
Thanks.
So we're going to load up another track, channel 1. All right, and now we're going to load, let's get rid of that, just put that away. We're going to load Mixbox. Okay, now I'm going to arm that. Now, here in Mixbox, I'm going to load this up. Now you have the option to load 8 different effects across here.
Okay.
Whereas with IFX, it would give you 10 total. You can load up 8 here. But they also have some presets. Let's go to a couple of the ones for guitar. So they've got some stuff for acoustic. Well, let's go with the American Vintage Clean. All right, so right off the bat now, he's loaded a compressor for us.
First.
And then it gave us American Vintage. This is like a regular cab that's shrunk down into a channel strip size. And then you've got your channel EQ. So why don't you play around with that one? To me, the IFX gave me some warmth.
Yeah.
But this Mixbox is giving me weight and brightness. Just by loading the preset. Other things you can dial in with the other plugins to get it there, but this just gives it to you. It's like boom, I'm
right then and there. Yeah.
And just having worked with this particular plugin set, it's giving me that live feel, like it's an amp already in the room.
Yeah.
It's giving me that feel. Let's see if we can groove on something. So we got a nice bass stack right here. SVT, we all know. The parametric EQ.
Yes, sir.
You got your black EQ. And if you just keep on sliding over, you can add some other effects in there.
Jeez, that's crazy.
So you got a full bass rig. There's another one here, which will add a vintage EQ and a black EQ and a graphic EQ, as well as the SVT amp setup. And it all just feels really nice. Ikmultimedia Mix Box. So what do you think?
I think I'm gonna, when we finish, I'm gonna go pick it up.
Yeah.
And get a bass. Maybe I can borrow yours.
Yeah, you can borrow this. Take this home.
I'm really considering getting one because of this.
Okay.
So everybody that knows me, I carry an amp with me everywhere I go. I got a multi-effects 80 pedal, which has everything in it, and it's great. But sometimes when I'm in a rush and I really don't feel like carrying everything, this would be perfect.
Yeah.
Long as my setup is fine, long as I have what I need.
Right.
And the house, you know, I always say this. A good sound man knows what they're doing. Like, I don't have to always have an amplifier with me.
Yeah.
This is perfect for everything that I love to do now.
Yeah.
We know that I play gospel music, quartet is where I'm at, worship music, choir music, whatever, R&B stuff, some rock stuff.
Yeah.
I can set all that in here.
You can set it all up right in here. Now,
no amps.
No amps. Now, the topic of pedals that you just mentioned, there are a number of companies that make some Bluetooth pedals.
Yes.
iRig is one of them from Ikmultimedia. They make a great Bluetooth pedal that's good for tone switching if you want to switch tones.
Yes.
Or the wah effects. I wish we had time to really go through what we could do with just having a little keyboard controller set up here, where I can input an expression pedal in there and map it through to some wah effects. I think we may have to do another video.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, I think we have to do that. But there's some amazing things that you can trigger with MIDI and just use software.
Okay.
So what would be, do you think, the toughest thing to learn, in your opinion?
The hardest thing would be learning how to stack everything.
Okay.
And not just stack, but in the order.
Right.
So as guitar players and bass players as well, they have a certain way to stack their sound effects.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't do it the exact same way. But there is a standard way that you should stack. Now, going back to this, you won't have to worry about any crazy noise.
Right.
Lingering. Let's say, for example, you're in church.
You got your noise gate on.
Yeah, you got your noise gate on there. You don't want to disturb altar call with a messed up note.
Yep.
Ringing string.
You just disarm the
Everything
track.
is on here.
Right.
And I have that too, but still, sometimes I don't want to carry everything.
Yeah.
So to get back to your question, I think that would be the toughest thing, is how to stack everything in the order it should be in.
Yeah. Obviously, the Apple one seems to be a lot easier to get into, right? Yeah. Not as much of a learning curve. But the others also will give you more options. So it's a matter of just spending that time to prep.
Yes. Yeah.
Spend that time to prep and just make sure that your sound is the way you want it at home. So when you get out to your event or your venue, you're now bringing up that same sound that you worked on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you, within Logic, you can set up several different tracks. So you can have one for clean, another one for distortion, and just keep and switch as you go.
Yeah.
Or you can use some of these apps in standalone mode and load your presets that way as well.
This is great. This is great.
Yeah.
They did a good job by doing that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So the last thing we want to talk about is laptop versus iPad. So the laptop obviously has a long legacy of it just works.
Yes.
Screen and keyboard and then mouse or trackpad. But with most of the Apple laptops, all of the Apple laptops, you cannot touch the screen. Right? If I wanted to turn the volume down, I'd have to be fooling around with my trackpad, and I would have to try and get the mouse in the right place and then pull and drag down. Versus here, as a musician, we're used to just touching stuff.
Yep.
So here I could just reach out and touch it and move it. You know, if I want it less wet, I can do that. Or I could change the depth. These knobs are big enough for me to do that. You know, all of this stuff is touch ready, and it's on iOS, which is something that everybody knows. You know, even them Android folks that try to copy. You know what I'm saying? They can't say that on this channel.
They can't hang.
Oops.
That's all I say. They can't hang.
But there's so much you can do on an iPad setup. Lots of screen real estate for you to go in and create. You know.
I have to consider this very soon. Because again, now another thing that with amplifiers and multi-effects pedals, and some of us use different kind of pedals. Carrying certain equipment is cool. We've recently gone to lightweight, so everything is light. No more big combination amps, cabinets. But with this here, again, it's just my guitar, the chords that I need, and the iPad.
That's it.
And I can make my own tweaks in the iPad. I don't necessarily need an amp or ME80 or any other pedals to do that. So this is great.
So this is something you can add to your palette as a musician. Again, this is all things that we should learn. As musicians in different applications. You may not have a chance to bring a whole rig, but you can certainly bring the whole show. Now imagine adding backup tracks to all of this.
Oh my gosh.
And touring as a solo musician. What is there to talk about?
That's
like
crazy.
It's done.
It's done. It's right there.
It's right there. You know. So
time is changing.
Times are changing. I hope this guys gives you some options for the iPad. We have some solid contenders with Gospel Musicians IFX rack, which sounds amazing, and also the Ikmultimedia Mix Box. If you don't want to work with Amplitude until Amplitude becomes AUV3 compatible to load up in a DAW like this, for recording, I highly recommend the Gospel Musicians IFX rack or the Ikmultimedia Mix Box. You already heard this guy was shredding on him, and it sounded good to me, and I'm sure it sounded really good to you too. But that's it for today. Listen, if you like the content, please like, subscribe. I'm going to get some more musicians in here. Dan, thank you for doing this, man.
Absolutely, bro.
You sound amazing as always.
Thank you.
And how can people find you? What's your Instagram?
Well, yes, I'm on Instagram, DKeys. I think I'm saying that correctly, DKeys, 85 on Instagram. You can type me in as D Grant on TikTok. And then Daniel Maurice Grant, my whole government name is on Facebook. I think I got to change that though. But yeah, that's how you can find me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And any bands you're playing for?
Yes, I'm currently playing for my wife and I, Candace Grant. There's the Anointed Sons. There's my brother and I, Pastor Derek Grant. We were Dennis Grant's sons. Now we're the Grant boys. You know? And then of course the Well Church.
Yes, sir.
We can't forget about the Well Church. It's our home church. Our dear Pastor Selwyn Arnold, his lovely wife, Pastor Michelle Arnold.
And thank you, Dan.
Absolutely,
for being here today.
Absolutely.
Guys, like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so we can continue to bring you some more videos.
Absolutely.
Take care, y'all.
Next time.
Peace.
Peace.